for the men's Olympics, America men won 2 gold, 8 silver, and 1 bronze. The last time America won a medal for hockey, it was 2010, actually, for Vancouver.
They didn't win the gold that year.
No, silver.
They won the silver. Yeah, I'm talking gold. 1980.
Oh, gold, 1980. Yeah, but that was before you were born.
And 1960 Squaw Valley in California.
Right. I was assuming that was before you were born. I wanted to talk about this millennium.
Well, why not? I want to talk about the events that we actually won gold in. And yes, I can say we this time. How about that?
Yeah, well, there were 2 men's times, 1 gold,
with both
and 1
amateurs,
women.
both amateur teams.
Both amateur, exactly, which is why I think the Olympics is so great. I really just love it. I'm looking forward to it very much, and perhaps I'll be a second-time caller when the Olympics happens.
All right, Tara, thanks for the call.
Okay, thank you, guys. I enjoy listening.
All right. That was Tara from Oceanside, and that was a good call. Number to call if you have something on your mind, or to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Long Island Net Maine Red Claw game on Wednesday, February 21st at 7 p.m. at the Nassau Coliseum is 516-572-7440. Guys, do you watch the Olympics at all? How into it do you guys get?
I'll check it out if it's on.
I'm more into the Summer Olympics, to be honest.
More into summer.
I like Winter Olympics hockey, but I'm not feeling like the draw because the NHL players aren't going to be there, so the luster isn't really there because I personally like that.
I go crazy into it. I'm not going to lie to you. So does my mom, actually. Let's get to basketball. Woo. The Clippers traded Blake Griffin to the Pistons for Avery Bradley, Tobias Harris, Bryce Johnson, Boban Marjanovic, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Willie Reed, their top 4 protected first-round pick this year, and a second-round pick next year. I'm not going to read all of their stats because we have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on Beyond the Game.
I'm Shirley. How you doing?
Doing good, Richie. What's on your mind?
Do you think the Knicks season's over?
Yes.
Yes.
You definitely think so, right?
Yeah.
I personally do, but there have been reports coming out that Porzingis wants the Knicks to be buyers at the deadline.
Yes.
Which I can't blame because you do want to win. And if you look at like the standings right now, they're number 10 in the East. Technically, they're not far out, but I can't see them making a push.
Who would they get anyway this time of the season? Who would they get anyway?
Well, there were rumors that they wanted Kemba Walker. Yeah. So that'd be an interesting get for the Knicks.
Michael Jordan said, no way, the Knicks ain't getting him. So.
Dave DeBuscher's not coming back?
Can Clyde still play?
We still paying this guy no money or what? What's the story?
Yep, you're still paying him.
Apparently, they had an altercation yesterday at practice, and they want to move him. I don't know how they would move him because of his contract, but that just adds more fuel to the fire.
He was at practice yesterday?
Oh, no. Him and the coach, Jeff Hornacek, got into like a heated argument, and it didn't go well.
Oh, boy. And I want to bring up one point, too. St. John's?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that program. It just went down the tubes.
You know what? When Mike Francesa left, it all went to hell. All right, Richie, thanks for the call, buddy.
Guys. Bye.
All right. Joe, what were your thoughts on the Blake Griffin trade? I know you're itching to get into it.
I feel like this is a total win for the Clippers, and I'll explain why. The main part of it is that, Blake Griffin is really injury prone. Excuse me.
He's always had injury.
I'm slipping on my words
here. I will fill in what I think you want to say. He's always had injury concerns. He missed his true rookie year coming out of Oklahoma. He's always had injury concerns.
He's a great player when he's healthy, but the past has proven that that he can't stay healthy. And I feel like the Clippers got a solid return here because they got Tobias Harris, who's been doing really well this year. He's actually shooting over 40% from the 3. Avery Bradley hasn't been doing that good, but he'll be reunited with Doc Rivers, so we can see how that pans out. And getting a first and second round pick on top of that, I feel like that's a pretty solid return, just for Blake Griffin. So I feel like I don't really know what the Clippers are doing, because this is why this trade interests me, is that, after they got rid of CP3, they promised that Griffin would kind of be like the cornerstone of the franchise, the superstar players, so to say. They offer him a max contract 5 years, and then only to trade him in the middle of the season. I know the Clippers aren't really in contention, but I feel like they probably would have moved DeAndre Jordan first, before Griffin.
Well, I think you'll see Jordan go. I think you'll see Lou Williams go. I understand your point with Griffin being injury prone, and I was never the biggest Blake Griffin fan in the world coming out of Oklahoma. But with that being said, I don't understand how this isn't a win for the Pistons. You just formed one of the best front courts in the NBA. Right. And obviously, with the way the NBA is going, you want to stretch four. You want people who can space the floor. And Drummond and Griffin can't do that. But with that being said, the Pistons had to do something. Stan Van Gundy was on the hot seat. The Pistons were losing games left and right. I think this was an easy win for them. I think this will save their season. And I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Don't you feel like they gave up too much, though, especially with Tobias Harris, who's very, in my opinion, underrated?
To be honest with you, no. I think Griffin is better than Harris, and I think if you put Bradley on top of it, he's still better than Bradley and Harris put together. I like Tobias Harris, too. He's a solid player, solid starter. There's a role for him in the league. And Avery Bradley's a solid defensive player. But, I like Blake Griffin.
I'm just skeptical on him. That's the reason why I have that opinion.
Your injury concerns are 100% valid. And believe me, I have them, too. But the Pistons had to do something to save their season.
What I just don't like about the Clippers is that I feel like, you're having one bad season, so it's not like now you're just going to get rid of everything. Where I feel like, if a team has one bad season, it doesn't mean they're going to be bad, the whole way. You can fix it in the offseason, but I feel like they're just kind of I think Jordan will be gone next, and I'm just wondering why after one bad season you got to, rebuild. I don't really like that move.
Doc is getting exactly what he wants to build around Austin Rivers.
Assuming he's around for it, I think he might be gone.
I think he's gone at the end of the season.
I think he'll be gone too.
Good. He's proven inept at running the Clippers. Maybe he can find success in a smaller market.
With the Knicks. Imagine.
I said smaller market. We do have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on Beyond the Game.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Martin from Merrick. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
We're going to go back to baseball.
Okay, sounds good.
One of the stories that broke today was that MLB and the Indians reached an agreement that...
No, that's all politics. I'm not going to get into it now. No.
However, I think it opens the door, and baseball has dangerously opened the door.
No, it's a politics discussion. I'm not going to get... This isn't the appropriate forum for it. If you want to talk sports, that's fine, but if that's what you want to talk about, I'm going to hang up. I'm sorry. All right, you know what? I got you on a bad day. You're a better caller than that. I'm disappointed in you. It's not the appropriate time. I'm sorry, it's just not. Going back to the Griffin trade, I just don't see how the Pistons don't win it. I honestly don't. Again, the injury concerns are valid, but Pistons improved their roster drastically.
With Griffin and Drummond, they have a pretty deadly combo in the front court, so you do have a point on that.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So according to Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer, Mike Muscala has generated interest around the league this year. He has 6.1 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, and 0.8 assists per game. Do you think that the Hawks should trade him, and what do you think they can get for him?
Well, I feel like, they should probably let him develop a little bit, but at the same time, the Hawks are in the middle of a rebuild, and if they get somebody back that's solid, I would definitely recommend that they would do it. I, was looking at something interesting. I feel like a swap for Muscala and Stanley Johnson from the Pistons, even though he's not as productive or proven, I feel like that's something that could possibly, work out.
That'd be interesting.
Depending on the interests of, Johnson.
We do have another caller on the line. I'm loving the vast majority of callers today. Caller, you're on Beyond the Game. Can't be any worse than the last one. How are you today, pal?
Gee, what an introduction. Thanks, Jacob.
How are you, Jim from Wantaw? You're another good caller.
Doing well, thank you. I'm just going to take exception to something that you said, Jacob.
Okay.
You said with the trade, you think the Pistons are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I really don't.
Well, you take a look at where they are now. They're on the outside looking in. I think this trade makes them a lot better. And, I think they can make the playoffs, certainly as a 7 or 8 seed. I mean, you take a look at where they are now.
With the Pelicans and DeMarcus Cousins going down, I mean, the East is already pretty open as it is, so...
Well, Pelicans are in the West.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. Way to help me out, buddy.
Sorry.
But yeah, believe it or not, New Orleans is in the West.
I know.
I was getting confused with the switch from the Hornets.
As of right now, Detroit is number 9, and they would have...
They're 2.5 games out.
Yeah,
right.
And the number 8 seed right now is the Sixers. The Sixers can easily fall off, in my opinion. I do like them as a team. I do think that they could potentially be a playoff team, but that's just one team that the Pistons have to worry about. The teams below them are the Knicks at 10, Charlotte at 11, and the Bulls at 12.
Well, you can forget about them. They're not.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. One other real quick question. I know you're up against the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
Any major trades for the two local teams?
In terms of what sport? In terms of basketball?
Yeah.
For the Nets, I could see DeMare Carroll being moved. Joe Harris, maybe. Spencer Dinwiddie, probably not unless they're blown away with an offer. And Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, definitely not. What about for the Knicks, guys?
I would say for the Knicks, I'd say Kyle O'Quinn is a huge name you got to look out for. Courtney Lee's even bigger. Willie Hernan Gomez is a hot name on the trade market right now. There's no room for him. And his Cantor, too, unfortunately.
I like him. Logjam at center right now.
Even with that lacerated lip? Did you see that?
He is a warrior.
Oh, my goodness.
My friend is a Thunder fan. When Russell Westbrook came up from UCLA.
I like Cantor.
And when Cantor got traded to the Knicks, I said, I don't know how I feel about this trade right away. And he said, trust me when I say you are going to love Enes Kanter.
He was
and
right.
I do.
Yeah. All right, Jim, thanks for the call.
All right, guys, have a good one.
All right. We got about a minute left. It's time for the bottom of the ninth. Dominic, we'll start with you.
Go to Juju Smith-Schuster's Twitter page.
I love him.
And he tweeted something out, and it's pretty funny. I'm just not going to say what it is, but it's pretty funny. Check it out. He's a good guy.
All right, leaving us in suspense. I like it. Eric?
So the Knicks and the Nets are playing each other tonight, and they are breaking out their city jerseys. The Knicks have the logo of the FDNY, and the Brooklyn Nets have the almost similar look to the Brooklyn Bridge. Both of them are really very nice to me, and it's supposed to be a very great game tonight.
You know what? I picked the Nets on Friday. The way they've been playing recently, I'm not too confident in that pick, but I'm sticking with my team. Joe?
Well, this one goes out to Tom Brady and for Super Bowl 52. I think every human being with common sense on the planet knows that the Patriots will probably win this game, but I'm hoping for Tom Brady's
The
downfall.
underdogs, though.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Let's see.
So Kevin Towers passed away today at the age of 56 from anaplastic thyroid cancer. The guy's been involved in baseball for over 20 years, worked for the Yankees for a little bit, GM of the Padres in 98 when they made the World Series, worked for the Diamondbacks before Dave Stewart and Tony La Russa stupidly came over, will be deeply missed. All right, looks like we're about out of time here on Beyond the Game. For Dominic Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, and Joe Ardita, I am Jacob Volk saying that Patrick Ewing should have played point guard.